Oh,
All right, so just to be clear for everybody watching the stream, Braxis is definitely the map. For some reason, we got Garden of Terror put in on the draft, and we're just rolling with that. So here we go. And Shiz and Curb have the draft.
all right. Coming into Braxis Holdout.
Braxis Holdout has to do with a lot of rotations. The thing that makes a difference, a lot like Dragonfire, but the difference is there's a lot of jungling involved in this. And the first ban is Ariel. Ariel can sustain very well on a on one of the shrines, I guess we'll call them here, or
Yeah, the beacons, the
beacons.
capture
Yeah,
points.
yeah, and she can sustain and keep her whole team alive. And what's really good is most of the fighting takes place on the beacons, and her AOE heal will definitely keep everyone on the front lines topped
Yeah,
off.
it's
So
big enough that it literally hits the whole beacon.
I think that was a smart ban, especially if they don't want to prioritize that. So I think that was a very solid ban. We'll see how Territorial Pissing responds to that.
Yeah. It's also possible that they saw TP run an Oriole choke all and were like, we're going to have none of that.
Absolutely, and they take out the Kerrigan and after some thought, and I think that's also a great thing. There's a lot of areas where you can gank heavily from. And I think Kerrigan's a very smart choice, and they go with the Rexar first pick. Rexar,
such a good pick on this map.
Absolutely, he can sit and lean and soak while Misha go and does all the work. But we all know the real player is Misha here. It'll be interesting to see what they go. Li Ming, okay, very strong, can poke and really chunk out the team as they're all capped up and grouped together with Azul.
Li Ming
Very
and
very
Zul.
nice. So the great thing about Zul on this is he's going to be able to clear the waves very fast and then be able to rotate to the shrine and be able to put pressure. So either they're going to lose the soak or they're going to have to decide if they want to pressure that.
And another really nice thing is that once he's moving with the wave, he can do a great job of just clearing the enemy waves and turning them into an offensive force that helps to absorb tower shots, enemy aggro before the Zerg even get there.
Absolutely. And then so Mosh Pit picks up KT and the Sylvanas, and those are very strong picks. Sylvanas can push with the wave very heavily, and KT can also clean up the wave very nicely. Also, Sylvanas at 7 can really do her own solo camping and jungling, which makes her a very nice pickup. And then they banned the Rhaegar. I think that was a solid choice. Rhaegar is obviously one of the stronger healers in the game, minimizing what is going to be left for Mosh Pit.
Not only that, but TP gets first pick at a healer in the next draft phase. So by banning Rhaegar, they have a lot of strong control over who the healers this game are going to be.
Absolutely. They can almost determine how Mosh Pit's going to go forward from here. And they picked the Johanna, and I think that was a smart move. Johanna's very tanky right now. I think she got a lot better with her recent changes.
And, you know, having some baseline wave clear on her W is kind of nice on this map.
And they go the ETC.
Oh, that counter pick, though. The disrespect.
The irony. With an Uther, I think the Uther is going to very well complement that Mosh. He's going to be able to Mosh, and the D-Shield can go on top of him. And even if the D-Shield isn't there, he can still put Cleanse on top of ETC and make sure that the Mosh goes off that way. It'll be interesting to see how Mosh Pit counters with this, since they need a tank and a healer.
And honestly, the only thing they have that could really deal with the Mosh is Raynor or Brightwing. And okay, there's the Brightwing.
There's the Brightwing. Well, Misha wouldn't be able to stop that. The only wave clear they had was Sylvanas' Silence, if they went that route, in KT's Gravity Wind.
Yeah, but Gravity Lapse, like, I never really liked that as a counter to Mosh because you just have to hit it from so close.
Well, and it also can get body blocked out unless he empowers it. So that'll be definitely interesting. But again, a perfect cleanse can completely ruin that completely. Yeah. So far, I like Territorial Pissing's drafting right now because they left their last spot open to virtually almost any flex that they want. And right now, I feel like Mosh Pit is forced to pick a tank right now. Otherwise, they're going to be very lacking on the front line.
The thing is, like, this is almost exactly the same lineup that we saw TP bring on Braxis Holdout last week, which went really well for them.
This is true. I am curious if they're going to pick up the Tychus, and there it is. Yes, that's going to be an absolute
Ooh.
monster here, doing so much damage to Murden and Rexar. This is going to be definitely interesting. Well,
And even
Misha.
Misha, like,
Yeah.
that's really important too, because one
Absolutely.
of the strengths of Misha on this map is being able to sit on the point. And normally Misha has a lot of sustain with the E, but if Tychus is around, Tychus could just shred Misha.
Absolutely, and especially with the dropping the laser, his ultimate near one of the beacons, that can put some serious pressure on the tanks to force them to make sure that they get that capture. It'll be, I think, what this main map is going to come down to is the rotations heavily. It's going to be who can do the rotations properly, who can secure those gank kills that they're going to need to do, and I think it's going to be definitely interesting. Both drafts are very, very solid.
And with that, Mystic and I will take over and bring you into the play-by-play as everybody readies up and we get ready to load into the game. Let's see, teams look correct on both sides. And Rolf the dog rocking that new Rexar skin, which I absolutely love, Robo Rexar. I'm a big fan of that skin. Don't even play Rexar, purchase that kit so I would have that skin. So
it's got some cool flames going on there.
Right? I think that's my favorite tint on that skin too. The flames just add to the Misha and the Rexar love. Like,
is that a May on the?
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a
Yes.
sticker on the back of Misha.
It is. It is a May.
I think it's May.
It is. It absolutely is. So, the ultimate mosh pit on the blue team, we got Dankstrom running Muradin, Minra on Brightwing, Patam on Kael'thas, Rolf the dog again on Rexar, and Judge Bread on Sylvanas.
On the other team, we got Dr. Dog on Uther, Great Guru on Zul, Lock Dog on Li Ming, Sifu on Tychus, and Providence on ETC.
And that ETC steal. How do you steal ETC from a team called the Real Ultimate Mosh Pit? How do you do that?
A lot of guts.
Hey, we know you're Real Ultimate Mosh Pit, but we're gonna and you're all running ETC portraits, but we're gonna steal them from you. All right.
Facility powering up.
Okay, so camera work is working correctly, so there's that. And got the two teams getting ready to go. And I agree with our analysts. I think this is going to be a very, very interesting draft to see how it plays out against each of them.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Access granted.
And it looks like we have all of Mosh Pit going top lane right now. And with that Sylvanas to help them out, it looks like they're going to try and take down at least that wall pretty quick. Throwing a lot of damage on it.
Yeah, Team TP responding to this by sending ETC up. I don't think it'll be enough to stop them right now.
Nah, they're going to get that wall and then they're going to back out. And they may not have killed the whole wall, but they definitely got the two cannon towers and the beginning of that wall, and that's going to be pretty powerful for them. And just taking a peek at the level 1 talents. Let's see anything that jumps out at me. KT definitely going convection. That works for him. The ETC's got all the normal talents. Yeah. Backlash on the Zul. Not an abnormal pick, but slightly different. And they pick off that Zul pretty quickly. They pushed in hard. Looks like top lane, and they're taking the fort down already. So
yeah,
TP under a lot of pressure.
Zul not able to take down, or not able to survive against all 4 players right up there in top lane.
And they already get that fort, and it looks like TP's rotating up and around. The Sylvanas push is real in this game. And they're definitely getting work done. Looking at top lane, looks like we have a little 4-on-4 going on. Rexar down in the bottom lane with Zool, and beacons are just now coming online, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Looking at the bottom lane, it looks like Zool's trying to pick off Misha, but I don't know that he's going to be enough to do that. Meanwhile, top lane, it looks like we have a fair fight going on over the top beacon, and Ultimate Mosh Pit's going to go ahead and take control of that.
Yeah, I think Ultimate Mosh Pit really has the fight advantage right here right now. They have a lot more damage than EP at the moment.
And then they went and they got level 4 too, which is going to help. But it looks like, yep, there goes the Tychus.
Yeah, overextending a little bit right there. Got him caught by the Murden stun and then just got picked off right there. Misha can cap the point, it looks like. Doesn't need Rexar on it.
Nope, and Ultimate Mosh Pit finally getting some beacon fill, up to 24%. Filling pretty quick, and that a kill against Rexar though, that's gonna slow him down a little bit. Meanwhile, Ultimate Mosh Pit going ahead and picking up some camps up top while they can, and Territorial Pissing pushing back and trying to take the bottom wall down by themselves.
Yeah, Team TP has been looking really strong this season, but it looks like Mosh Pit's giving them a run for their money this time.
Yeah, no, it absolutely does, and I'll have to agree. But TP pushing in and getting some damage on that fort. Meanwhile, the beacons are stalled at 38% to 0%. And is TP going to leave anybody behind bottom, or are they all going to back out on this? That could be problematic, as Ultimate Mosh Pit has KT and Rexar bottom lane looking to get a pick here and maybe get that beacon, or at least steal it back.
Yeah, Mosh Pit not really wanting to take the objective that much. They don't really want to fight TP. They just want to get the value from the Sylvanas and take all the forts and keeps.
Which they are absolutely doing right now. I just noticed that top keep just went down. I mean, they are pushing in hard with that Sylvanas and getting work out of her. Meanwhile, it looks like Li Ming is trying to cap that top point, but she is not going to get it. And she may go down here. It's 2-on-3, but ETC trying to zone for her. Uther coming in from behind, saving her, and it looks like, yeah, we're not going to go anywhere. But Ultimate Mosh Pit is working on getting both of those points, and now they are refilling their cages right now. And that would be a deadly Ming, and that's really going to affect them coming back on this map. And with so much of the top lane already taken down, with them getting a full 100% to 0% push on the bottom lane, it'll be interesting to see if Sylvanas gets down there and pushes with it, or what they do here, how they react. I'd like to see them push bottom.
Team TP looks like really out of their element. It looks like they were not expecting just the straight Sylvanas put through their entire top lane.
No, and with 100% to 0, these Zerg are making quick work of this front wall. But Misha going down, level 9 to level 7, that's a 2-level lead, and you know, Ultimate Mosh Pit is definitely looking for their ultimates, and they just picked off the ETC player, and they're coming out hard, right? They're looking at this saying, okay, you guys want to take ETC from us, that's fine, we're going to take the map. Fort down in the top lane, the fort and the keeper down, and they're not slowing down. They have about a quarter of the Zerg wave left, and with Sylvanas shutting down towers, it looks like they may be able to pick off this wall. I don't think they're going to get the keep here, but I definitely think they can get this wall down if they stick around long enough. And they do have their ultimates, and they are all up except for that Wailing Arrow, and there it goes in. Looks like they're looking to get a pick here, and ETC is really close to dead, but not going to quite go down this time.
Man. Murden almost makes it out alive.
Well, and Ultimate Mosh Pit did use every one of their heroics to try and secure a kill, and TP was able to stay behind the fort, stay behind the keep, keep it alive so it's not dead, and even get a kill against Merton. Down 2 levels, that's impressive.
Yeah, Team TP still doesn't have their ultimates, and then there's also the top lane. All the winions are pushing in.
Yeah, that
looking
is
for that
a
core.
huge winion wave that just finished off the fountain for them. But Tychus is up there with Zool. They should make short work of that wave. Meanwhile, it looks like, yep, Ultimate Mosh Pit is going to take this boss and let that boss push.
There's just no letting up from Team Mosh Pit here. They're gonna start taking everything. Merc camps, boss. They're just gonna totally choke out Team
Muradin
TP.
taking a lot of damage though, but that's okay because TP was not here to try and put pressure on him. So that boss is gonna push, looks like bottom. And Rexar's cleaning the wave, and you have Sylvanas stealing the bruiser camp, if you will, on this map. So that's a quick invade. Meanwhile, TP did take the top Firebat camp to try and do something and put a little counter pressure on, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough. It looks like Ultimate Mosh Pit's just going to ignore that camp, take the boss and their bruiser camp, and just push in with Sylvanas. And this should be a keep, if not the game. If they can get a pick here, it should definitely be the game.
Yeah, Team TP looking to fight since they finally have their heroics. A nice Mosh Pit and Divine Shield, but is it enough?
I mean, Muradin's low, he goes down, but ETC goes down, so you have a 1-for-1 trade. It did cost him the keep, and now the boss taking out Li Ming there. 2 other players on TP really low. That's going to cost them everybody but the Uther. Boss on the core, and they're already calling good game, well played. I don't think there's anything they can do at this point. Not with the boss, plus the heat-seeking. Yeah, that was quick. That was an 8-minute, almost 9-minute game.
Wow.
Good game to Ultimate Mosh Pit. They came in with a plan and they executed their plan there. Yeah, I mean, there's what more do you say to that?
Yeah, Mosh Pit looked really prepared for this game. They executed their plan, which looks like it was almost flawless.
I would agree. I don't think they had any questions in their plan. They pulled the trigger. Interestingly, hero damage wise, TP did have the top 2 players. Siege damage wise, obviously Sylvanas was getting work. Sylvanas got work done. I'm gonna say Sylvanas was probably MVP of that game.
You have my vote.
Let's see what both Curb and Shiz think about that. Shiz has been quiet since the end of that game. Shiz, your thoughts?
That was a very, very one-sided game.
Man, that was terrifying to watch.
Mosh Pit came in with a plan, as you said, and they executed. Muradin dove when he needed to dive. He was very, very aggressive on his positioning to secure those stuns. This way his team could follow up, get those kills. Kael'thas with his convection build that he was going into, making sure to put that on the points. The AoE damage that was going out was just absolutely ridiculous that he was putting out.
And like,
go ahead.
If you look at the numbers, they were just bam, 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 right on top of what they needed to do. You know, they got an early fort, then they got the keep at 4 minutes.
Yeah, yes. That 4-minute keep, right? Like, what do you do at that point?
You know, I mean, Kael'thas completed convection before the 7-minute mark.
It was very one-sided. I mean, at the point when they both decided that they were going to trade, you know, forts and everything, you know, Mosh Pit looked at the situation and said, that's fine, we'll trade forts. We have a Sylvanas. We can outpush you. We can do this quicker. And that's exactly what they did. By the time that fort was getting threatened to being low, they were already on the keep walls. At that point, all of TP had to back out and defend that keep. Otherwise, that keep was being threatened. And then by the time that they got there, it was already too late. And I mean, it was brilliantly executed. They put so much pressure that they forced they forced someone just to solo lane against the Rexar and Misha, and
Yeah.
Misha was able to do exactly what she needed to do. She put pressure on, capped the points while just doing the lane, and they just let Sylvanas just do whatever they needed to do. And by getting that early fort that they got in the beginning, that pushed back the ability of a TP being able to get those points, and it kept going. And then they secured the bots as soon as they knew they had it. They had that advantage, they pushed their advantage, and they never let up.
That's exactly it. Like, Mosh Pit
Right.
knew exactly what they needed to do, and they never stopped.
That was
They just
probably
bringing the pressure.
the most snowbally map I've seen, and I don't. It wasn't snowbally because of the map.
It wasn't snowbally because of the map. It was
Right.
snowbally because it was brilliantly executed to where I think it completely caught TP off guard, where they thought they had a strategy going in, and then everything got changed on its heels. And
They were perfect.
Well,
exactly.
so the question that I come back to is so obviously Mosh Pit went into this with a plan. 100%, they knew exactly the strategy they wanted to execute. They first picked Rexar, and
I agree.
TP, I think that either threw a wrench in TP's plan or they thought it didn't matter, but
like, you should have never. Well, in my opinion, Rexar. This map, like everybody knows, Rexar is an absolute monster on this. If you see a first pick Rexar, yes, that's great. But the one thing I did notice in the draft, and I guess I completely either was overlooking it or didn't realize it until about halfway through. You gave probably 3 of arguably the best picks to Mosh Pit. You got a Brightwing for the global. You've got Sylvanas for the pushing power. You've got Rexar for the capping. And then it looked like all of TP's picks were reactionary to what Mosh Pit did.
Well,
it wasn't, hey, we're gonna win the team fight, or hey, we're going to win the objective. It was, we're gonna try to do both at the same time. But Mosh Pit came in and said, we're just gonna push forts.
Even KT running Convection was strong on that map.
Oh, absolutely. You gotta remember where those beacons are. It's such a tiny area. There's just barely, their lanes almost essentially choke points, and you can just throw you can just throw them down so quick and so fast, and somebody's gonna be caught. Yeah, and you just catch them, and it was brilliantly done. I can see KT actually rising to a lot of popularity on this map. I think all of the mages are. Jaina is going to be super powerful because of the amount of slows in CC and the area of denial. I think Kael'thas is going to be super strong. We just saw Rexar and Misha do what they do best. We saw the power of Sylvanas. We saw Brightwing teleporting around the map to do exactly what she needed to do. So you got to see a lot of heroes, I think, that are going to be very popular as everyone keeps trying to find out the groove on what works on this map.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think, Mosh just had something very directed, very explosive, and TP just weren't able to adapt.
Right.
I agree.
So
I absolutely agree.
With all that said, Mystic, do you have any final thoughts before we end this cast?
Again, nothing that hasn't already been said.
Fair enough. All right, and with that, congratulations to the Real Ultimate Mosh Pit for going 3-0, one of 3 teams currently in Division 3 that are 3-0. TP, you guys played a great game last week on that map, and I think you guys had a strategy that just didn't quite work against what Ultimate Mosh Pit brought this week, but congratulations to both teams, and thank you for watching the stream.